and welcome. Tonight, almost 2 weeks after his impeachment, former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, breaks silence, says his removal did not follow due process. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State assures River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara that all PDP governors are firmly behind him, advises him to take charge. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, renews his pledge to spread developmental projects across every part of the nation's capital. And 4 female hostages held by Hamas in Gaza have returned to Israel.
And on business news, Nigeria's stock market makes a comeback, reversing last week's bearish trend with an over 1% gain for the week.
And baseless. That's how the former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has described the corruption allegations leveled against him. Finally breaking his silence in the wake of his removal from office, Mr. Obasa, who addressed his supporters at a welcome rally at his residence in Ikeja today, maintained that he was not afraid of being impeached, but emphasized that due process must be followed. He also stressed that he remains the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly until due process is followed.
This is the first time the former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mr. Mudashiru Obasa, is appearing in public since his impeachment and subsequent replacement on January the 13th, 2025. Mr. Obasa's supporters thronged his Joe Olugunake residence in GRA Ikeja to give him a rousing welcome in a show of support and solidarity. Breaking his silence for the first time since his replacement almost 2 weeks ago, Mr. Obasa insists that due process was not followed and he remains the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
I believe in removal. There is no impeachment in the Assembly. You cannot impeach Speaker. Probably there is a mistake from there. You can only remove one house leave. You can only remove the Speaker. And if you are going to remove, you must ensure you follow the rules. If I serve as a Speaker for 10 years, and I serve as a member of the House of Assembly since 2003 up to date, so what is the problem? Nothing. And the former councillor if you want to do that, do it constitutionally.
He also dismisses corruption allegations against him as baseless and fictitious.
It's impossible to construct again with billions, 16 billion, 17 billions of naira. It's impossible to buy billions at 1 billion naira each. So, my brothers and sisters, this is just tedious, substantiated position, involvedly put together just to discredit because others are involved. For me, I am not disturbed, I am not perturbed, and I am not afraid.
Reacting to rumors that he wants to occupy the seat of power in Lagos, the embattled former speaker says he's never openly announced his ambition to run for the Lagos top job.
I'm saying the speaker until the right thing has been done. If you want to remove me in the proper way. Having ambition to become a governor is not a sin, is it? However, I've said it on the floor of the House when the budget was presented that I had no thoughts of governorship, but that does not mean what? That I'm not qualified or I lack experience. So, and I still maintain that position. But in the whole of Lagos State, let any leader, anybody come out to explain that Obasa approached me and he says that he wants to become a governor. It's as simple as that.
Mr. Mudashiru Obasa was impeached last week Monday by more than 2/3 of the 40-member Legislative House over alleged misconduct and sundry offences, which he denies. The new Speaker, Mojisola Meranda, has taken over the affairs of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
In a swift reaction, the Lagos State House of Assembly has emphasized that it is solidly united behind the new Speaker, Right Honorable Mojisola Meranda, and nothing can change the decision taken on January the 13th, where Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa was impeached. That's according to a statement signed by Honorable Ogundipe Olukayode on behalf of the Assembly members, which explained that it is imperative to clarify that over 2/3 of the State Assembly members impeached the former Speaker. Mr. Olukayode says elected representatives of the people of Lagos State and the Assembly members owe the public good governance and harmonious relationship with other arms of government. He also appealed to the former Speaker to toe the line of peace and harmony as being followed by others, as his current posture will hit up the polity and not augur well for anyone. Staying in politics, the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has assured his colleague in Rivers State that all governors of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) stand firmly behind him. Governor Mohammed emphasized that the PDP governors are united in their support for Mr. Siminalayi Fubara as a champion justice, equity and truth, and expressed delight for the visit of the National Working Committee to Rivers State. Praising Governor Fubara for his resolute leadership, Governor Mohammed acknowledged his commitment to assuming his rightful position as a leader of the party in Rivers State. These statements were made in Bauchi State during Governor Fubara's visit to the governor.
You are a good thing for Rivers and for Nigeria, and we will always stay or stand on the side of justice and equity and truth, and that's why we are always with you. You deserve it, you earn it, and that's why we must, on behalf of the government and people of Bauchi State, congratulate you for having the dexterity to take what is yours, for you to take the structure of the party in your state and to assume that leadership that you have assumed. We are very, very happy. And please, I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want to join issues with anybody. We have no qualms against anybody. But time and epoch, time could be chronometric, it could be transcendental, it could even be teleological, that is in the spiritual realm. But time, historical, is what we are standing on. At this time and place, you are the governor, and the governor of the state that is so important to the balance of power in Nigeria and the bequeathing of political democracy since the beginning of this new Second Republic from 1999. And you are doing very well. I have noticed that even the NWC have gone there to show you support. Definitely all the governors are with you, and will continue to close rank to ensure that we minimize rancor, except where it is necessary to straighten records.
On the issue of leadership, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has once again stressed the pivotal role it plays in the life of a nation. He made this assertion while receiving the body of chief executive officers who paid him a visit at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital.
Let me introduce former President Olusegun Obasanjo has hosted another body of professionals which cut across different sectors in the Nigerian economy.
Very important.
Although this visit is a brief one, members acknowledge that the former president has been an inspiration to them.
This visit is not about me, it's about CEOs hungry to make a difference in this country, hungry to build organizations that are sustainable, who see you as an inspiration of some sort, that are collaborating in some way, can make a big difference in terms of
The mentorship that we have gotten each time we share moment with you has been significant.
Analysts have blamed the country's underdevelopment and lack of quality leadership, and these young torchbearers from across sectors in the Nigerian economy are on this visit appreciated by President Obasanjo, who used the occasion to once again emphasize the importance of leadership.
We capture the present and we inspire the future. And part of the inspiration of the future is the leadership. And you cannot really have, as the Bible said, hope and a great future without good leadership. In fact, that leadership will destroy hope. You turn hope into despair. And we turn despair into failure. And failure becomes a disruption.
Leadership in the 21st century must use available tools to achieve maximum results, especially technology, in order to impact positively on the people.
Leadership at all levels, whether in government, private sector, and must embrace clear vision and passionately, drive that vision. And we need to look at the vision that positively impacts the lives of the people. We need to look at how can you use your visionary acumen to make the lives of the ordinary people better. We need to leverage on technology right now. We need to leverage on how can we use technology to make things easier, to make the lives of our people better. So these are things we are looking at in transformative leadership we're talking about.
For these entrepreneurs, the visit to the former president at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, it signposts a connection between the old and new, and the need for the younger generation to imbibe useful lessons in order to be better leaders in their own sphere of influence.
The security matters now. Former military secretary of the Nigerian Army, Major General Eyitayo Oyinlola, has taken over as the commander of Operation Safe Haven. He also takes over from Major General Abdulsalam Abubakar, who served in the similar capacities 2 years ago as a general officer commanding 3 Division of the Nigerian Army in Jos, the Plateau State capital.
Following the redeployment and posting of senior officers across military formations and commands, it is another round of handing and taking over at the 3 Division of the Nigerian Army and Joint Security Task Force Operation Safe Haven in Jos, the Plateau State capital. First, the conference hall of the Maxwell Kobe Cantonment Headquarters of 3 Division Nigerian Army is hosting principal officers and brigade commanders for the ceremony. The outgoing and incoming general officer commanding signed the document and exchanged the division insignia as Major General Eyitayo Oyinlola takes over as the 49th General Officer commanding 3 Division of the Nigerian Army. Thereafter, the traditional military lowering, flying and salute of the division flag was observed at the quarter guard. The 2 military officers delivered their charges to the troops.
Needless to remind you that the military and indeed all security activities are built on discipline, professionalism, and integrity. The success of every operation is determined by the collective commitment of every individual to uphold these 4 values.
I want you to sustain the legacy the GOC has left behind. I will equally sustain it and make sure I will take it even higher. There must be peace that will continue to remain in Plateau State and the entire region of 3 divisions.
The second leg of the ceremony then moves to the headquarters of Operation Safe Haven. The ceremony is repeated here. The new commander expresses concerns on the lingering insecurity and promises to improve on the effort of his predecessors.
Strong administration and welfare of my cardinal pillars to ensure that all troops of Safe Haven, including our various components, have the job satisfaction in putting their best to save our country and to ensure that the plateau is safe. So discipline will be encouraged and indiscipline will be adequately sanctioned.
Before his appointment, Major General Onyilola served as the military secretary of the Nigerian Army.
Next is Deputy.
In part two, after the break, Governor Peter Mbah visits fuel tanker accident scene along Enugu Onitsha Expressway, describes incident as tragic. Back in a moment. Join us again. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder about top stories. Almost 2 weeks after his impeachment, former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, breaks silence, says his removal did not follow due process. Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State assures River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara that all PDP governors are firmly behind him, advises him to take charge. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Yeson Wike, renews his pledge to spread developmental projects across every part of the nation's capital. And 4 female hostages held by Hamas in Gaza have returned to Israel. Terrorist kingpins linked to the Eastern Security Network have been neutralized by the Imo State Police Command. That's according to a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Adejobi, who says 3 out of the 6 suspects are amongst the gang responsible for the attack on the Warri Correctional Center on April the 5th, 2021, and many other major crimes across the zone. It adds that following credible intelligence, the command's tactical unit located the terrorist hideout in a forest within Okigwe local government area. They came under heavy fire but demonstrated exceptional courage and engaged the suspects in a fierce gun battle. Items recovered include 5 AK-47 rifles, 552 rounds of live ammunition, improvised explosive devices, several communication gadgets, alongside 8 operational motorcycles. As part of measures to enhance excellence, hard work and integrity, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, has promised a better welfare package for EFCC staff. The chairman, who was speaking at an event to honor staff members, explained that while the commission will focus on improving their work conditions, it will also not relent in weeding out bad eggs as it strives to clamp down on all forms of economic crimes. Awards were presented to sections with the highest recoveries and convictions, as well as a posthumous award of bravery to one of his staff, Aminu Shahabi.
This recognition coming at a time like this when some bad eggs in our fold are trying to bring back the hand of the clock against our cherished values. It's a moral booster. It shows that hard work pays and integrity has good rewards. For those taking shortcuts to help themselves, I equally charge you to retrace yourself to accountable conduct. The internal cleansing going on in the commission will spare no one. I continue to stress the need for us to do the right thing. Integrity is the best preservation and assurance. Anything short of it is a disaster waiting to happen.
The Enugu State Governor Peter Mbah has expressed grief over an accident involving a fuel tanker along the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, which claimed 11 lives. The governor, who was at the scene of the accident for an on-the-spot assessment, said the government had already swung into action to ensure that the victims receive full medical attention while taking steps to prevent future occurrences, including enforcement of road rules and fixing of the part of the federal road that is in disrepair. The governor commiserated with the families of the victims and directed the FRSC and other authorities to ensure that all tankers conveying flammable substances have anti-spill lock.
Police and all the law enforcement agencies are involved in this, trying to get to the root of it for us to understand what is the true cause of the accident. But we are also taking quick measures as government. I've just been speaking to the head of the Road Safety Corps, making sure that they enforce strictly the rules that prohibit tanker drivers on the road without an anti-spill lock. The tanker drivers or those driving tanker with premium or inflammable material must have an anti-spill lock so that when these trucks fall down, they don't spill. We are not even going to obviously wait for the federal government to fix the other section of the road. We as government are going to immediately take steps to ensure that whatever needs to be done on that section of the road is done immediately.
Developmental projects will reach every part of the nation's capital, Abuja. The EFCC Minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, made this commitment while commissioning the newly constructed Saburi Access Road 1 and 2, flagged off about a year ago. Mr. Wike asked residents of the nation's capital to be patient with the current administration, as the president's directive to him shows that he means well for the country.
Thank you very much. You may be seated.
It's day 6 of the week-long commissioning of projects in the Federal Capital Territory by the Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, who is here alongside some of his aides and officials of the FCT. The chairman of Abuja Municipal Area Council appreciates the efforts of the minister, who he calls Mr. Projects. But like Oliver Twist, he asks for more.
Oliver Twist, I need some more. I therefore crave your indulgence to inform you that the people of Zauna, Kaba, and Kagini do not have good access road. The road to this community has been abandoned for decades, and they have lost hope because it required 2 bridges to be constructed. In view of this, sir, I humbly solicit that you please come to their aid. In conclusion, sir, it will interest you to know that Amak is the biggest area council in the FCT with large communities and population. On this note, sir, I humbly request that Amak should be treated with enormous consideration and attention, considering its high population density and many communities they are in.
For the FCT minister, all hands must be on deck to surpass the current strides.
Yeah, this Zauna to Kagini Road is included in our statutory budget that we are going to present to Mr. President for you to send to National Assembly. I appeal to you more, just be patient. Just be patient with the administration of President Ahmed Tinubu. You will know that the president is committed. You will know that Nigeria, the president is serious to making Nigeria be a better country. Things have been bad before now. But with your support, with your patience, we will overcome. Just like we are doing roads, so also we are going to renovate our schools to give our children the quality education they deserve. People, are you happy?
The week-long commissioning of projects has touched the 6 area councils in the FCT.
Mr. President, through the Honorable Minister.
Still on infrastructure, but this time we move to Edo State, where motorists who ply the Ramat Park route in Benin City, the state capital, are looking forward to the project being completed, as it promises to ease challenges associated with traffic congestion around the axis. Their reaction comes on the heels of the commencement of work on the project, which the governor, Monday Okpebholo, recently inspected. The governor says he's determined to see the state get quality infrastructure delivered on every project executed by his administration. Our correspondent Jessica Olugosere has this report.
Just a week after his inauguration in November, Governor Okpebholo, to the admiration of this gathering, flagged up the Ramat Park flyover project. The site soon after is transformed to a work zone. And now, to ascertain progress, Governor Okpebholo and top government officials embark on an inspection tour of the area. The governor considers the pace of work satisfactory at this point.
We are practical people, we are not MOU. And this is not OG. You can see yourself, work is ongoing. This kind of job is not something that you just jump into it. They have to couple so many things, read them here, and that's exactly what they are doing. In few months, you see everything here is standing, and that's all. So what I've seen today, I'm satisfied.
The bridge, upon completion, is to handle traffic congestion within Benin City, the Edo State capital, as well as on the thoroughfares around the axis, the Benin Agbo-Asaba Road, linking Edo to Delta State, and the Benin Ekoma Auchi Abuja Highway. Motorists who ply the routes, familiar with the regular traffic jam, look forward to the completion of the flyover.
It's really hectic, so we are praying God do it so that this flyover will become a successful. As you can see, the ones coming from Auchi direction and the Agbo, so this place is always a problem. So I don't know what is really happening here. This is a first place, so we are praying God do it so that the flyover goes, so that those coming from Agbo, so they can take the flyover while going to the town.
If the government can be able to do it, it will be more better. That's what I see about the traffic issue. We will solve traffic issue for this Ramat Park.
The projects, according to the contractors, will take 18 months to be completed. The state government maintains it's committed to ensuring the flyover meets the set standard and is delivered as stipulated. Jessica Olugosere, Channels Television News.
10% of Benue State's 2025 budget has been set aside by the government for the implementation of its Durable Solutions Action Plan, which will ensure the resettlement of internally displaced persons. Governor Hyacinth Alia disclosed this at the launch of the state's Durable Solutions in collaboration with the United Nations. At the event, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs also announced a 500,000-hectare farm project as part of the federal government's livelihood support for displaced persons in Benue State.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction leads the humanitarian community in Nigeria to meet Governor Hyacinth Alia to open those 1,000 hectares of land for internally displaced persons in Benue State. This is the first step in the Benue State Action Plan for Durable Solutions, and the displaced persons have been grouped into cooperatives in the livelihood program. After inspecting the site, the team moves to the old banquet hall of the Benue Government House for the official flag-off of the program.
This state plan, for me, is a powerful affirmation of our collective commitment to supporting the resilient people of Benue, fostering sustainable solution for IDP, and promoting longer-term development across this beautiful state.
The federal government is also supporting the program with some livelihood interventions for the displaced persons.
NADA is committed to providing cultivating 10,000 hectares of land for IDPs across this country, and he's cultivating 500 hectares of land in Makurdi. And that's why I brought him down, so he will have signed the agreement together with the governor of Benue State. That's for the commitment of my visit today, so that he will ensure that Benue is the first state that you will target in cultivating 500 hectares of land for the IDPs in the state.
The state government is proposing over 70% of its expenditure for livelihood support and resettlement homes. The funding has already been worked out from the 2025 budget.
And as part of the process of endorsing the Benue State Action Plan and to demonstrate the government's commitment to ensuring its operationalization, 10% of the state budget has been approved for its implementation. In this regard, I call on the federal government, the United Nations and development partners to support this initiative and to coordinate its operationalization through the Benue Durable Solutions Task Force.
The United Nations team is endorsing the State Durable Solutions Action Plan for other states and countries dealing with humanitarian crisis.
2 cases of anthrax disease has been confirmed by the Zamfara state government. During an interview with journalists, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nafisat Maradun, disclosed that 1 case has been confirmed, while the other is classified as probable. The state government has also ramped up its efforts to tackle the outbreak through One Health approach to strengthen response and ensure effective containment.
This is the Zamfara State emergency meeting following the outbreak of anthrax in the state.
And we have developed a communication plan.
The state government has intensified efforts to curb the spread through One Health approach that brings together experts from human health, animal health, and environmental sectors to address diseases that affect both humans and animals.
The first case was identified, and then we immediately swung action. And then through the One Health approach, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, we came together, and then sequentially to that there is massive awareness and then massive vaccination to the population, and then that first index case, the animal died, and then since then we did not have any other cases.
Anthrax is a bacterial disease caused by Bacillus anthracis. It primarily affects herbivorous animals, but humans can contract the disease through direct contact with infected animals or contaminated products. Symptoms in animals include sudden death, fever, and swelling, while in humans, symptoms vary depending on the route of infection, cutaneous, inhalation, or gastrointestinal. By implementing the One Health approach, the Zamfara state government aims to prevent the anthrax disease from escalating into a larger public health crisis. Some of the measures taken by the state government to curtail the spread include surveillance and monitoring, public awareness campaigns, vaccination drives, among others.
We have developed a communication plan, a risk communication plan that we are judicially following. We are going to develop jingles. In fact, we have even developed the jingles just to air them. Then we also have sensitization. We agree that we are going to sensitize the animal value chain stakeholders from the state to LGE to community level. Then we are also holding, the advocacy visits, meeting the traditional leaders, especially the Fulani leaders who are the outposts.
The state government is encouraging residents to report any suspected cases to the relevant authorities and follow official updates to stay informed on the response efforts.
The Association of Resident Doctors in Abuja has called off its warning strike after the intervention of the FCT Minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike. The president of the association, Dr. George Ebong, said the demands of the association and its members have been met as they have started receiving their 6-month salary arrears. He also added that Mr. Wike has ordered the immediate payment of outstanding allowances, approved medical residency bonding to 2 years, and the immediate employment of doctors and allied health workers to cushion the severe shortage of manpower, amongst other issues. The doctors have grounded all FCTA-owned hospitals in Abuja during the week over unpaid arrears and other demands. President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to travel to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania tomorrow to participate in the Africa Heads of State Energy Summit on January the 27th to 28th. The summit, hosted by the government of Tanzania in collaboration with the African Development Bank Group as well as the World Bank, aims to advance Mission 300, an initiative to provide electricity to 300 million people on the continent by 2030. According to the Special Advisor on Strategy and Communication, President Tinubu will deliver a national statement reaffirming the country's commitment to achieving universal access to energy and its leadership role in the sector. He will also highlight Nigeria's ongoing clean energy initiatives and its strategy to drive integrated energy delivery in the continent. On July the 11th, 2024, the Supreme Court declared that local government chairmen and councillors are entitled to a full-year tenure, ending years of uncertainty and illegal termination. The ruling is expected to have significant implication for local government administration, as the chairmen and councillors can now focus on delivering their mandate without fear. In this next report, our correspondent Deborah Abalama takes a look at the feasibility of this implementation and how some of the LGAs are faring amidst this reality. We'll have that report in a moment. The Deputy Senate President of Côte d'Ivoire and First Vice President of the ECOWAS Female Parliament Association, Senator Fanny Chantal, has highlighted the critical role of quality education for the girl child in driving societal development. She made these remarks during the Warri Women Town Hall meeting held at the Palace of the Olu of Warri, an occasion that also marked a homecoming for the senator.
It's a homecoming of sorts for Senator Chantal after more than 50 years in Ivory Coast, where she draws her paternal roots. As the event unfolds, the rich Ishekiri traditional dance fills the atmosphere, warmly welcoming one of their own. Senator Fanny Chantal Mosakura, whose mother is Ishekiri, left Nigeria to settle in Ivory Coast, where she nurtured her daughter, who has risen through the ranks to become the Deputy Senate President of the Parliament in Côte d'Ivoire. Town hall meeting themed "The Role of Women in Community Development" has been crafted to discuss women empowerment and the vital role they play in societal progress, particularly within the Warri Kingdom. In her welcome address, the Olori Atuwashe III encouraged women to take on leadership roles and be resilient in their pursuits.
Our communities need strong women who can step up and co-build our communities. Because when one woman succeeds, we all gain. Her success opened doors for all of us.
In her keynote address, Senator Chantal demonstrated her passion for education with a promise to build a bilingual primary school in Warri, scheduled to open by September 2025.
My education is very important. Very, very important for development. Boys and girls. Girls, yes, but boy, because we should educate them to care about girls. That's why I will take the chance to ask to my Olu, a small land in the Warri, to build a primary school, French primary school in Warri.
Other invited speakers who have distinguished themselves in various fields also share their insights and encourage the women to embrace leadership roles.
I have influence because they give me this platform to speak to this audience of people in the room. Am I correct? So we must, as Ishekiris, number one, make sure that as we are entrepreneurs and making income, we must make impact. As we make impact,
we must have influence, because we know that when girls are empowered, they grow up to be women who ensure that entire families, communities, and nations thrive.
As he takes the stage in his regal manner, the host and Olu of Warri, Ogiame Atuwashe III, commends Senator Chantel for her unwavering dedication to advancing women's education and leadership.
Any woman who is able to demonstrate that she has capacity and ability to make her society, her community better. Ogiame is interested and encourages that woman to come forward. Let us hear your ideas, your suggestions, your contribution, because it is not only men that will make Warri Kingdom great.
To reward her contributions, the Olu bestows upon her the highest honor in the Warri Kingdom, the Royal Order of Iwere. In recognition of the presence and support of the Ivorian ambassador to Nigeria, Kalilu Traore, the Olu also presents him with a royal gift. The Warri Women Town Hall concludes with the royalty's renewed commitment to fostering cross-border collaborations for more women empowerment initiatives that will help shape the future.
Let's find out what's happening in the world of business. Laddie Williams has all those details.
Thanks, Melinda. Well, in business news, food prices across Nigeria rose from 2,862 naira in November 2024 to 2,920 naira in December 2024, marking about 2.02% month-on-month increase, but a big 91.6% increase compared to the same period last year. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, there were significant regional price variations, with the Southeast seeing the highest average food price hike there, about 3,484 naira, while the Northwest recorded the lowest with 2,526 naira. Prices of key items like beans, onions, and palm oil saw sharp increases, reflecting a broader inflationary pressures, but beans managed to drop 8% month-on-month. Analysts warn that ongoing economic challenges, including insecurity and rising production costs, are driving food insecurity, with projections indicating millions more Nigerians may face hunger in the coming years. And the stock market ended the third full trading week of January with a significant gain, reversing last week's bearish trend. The benchmark indicator of stocks performance, that's the all-share index, rose by 1.22%. This recovery was driven by renewed investor confidence in key sectors, particularly telecommunications, following the NCC's approval of a 50% tariff hike. At the same time, market activity also showed a significant rise, with trading volume and value with the green, and the shares of Wemba Bank PLC, Secure Electronic Technology PLC, Access Holdings PLC, were the major contributors in the volume of transactions. The banking counter led gains for the week on the sectors we track, with industrial goods following. Score Nigeria PLC led the gainers chart, while Senior Assurances Nigeria PLC led the losers counter. And for the NASD over-the-counter securities market, its performance ended the week in the green, as the index rose by a significant 0.68% week to date. The increase on the market comes on the back of gains from some high-value securities on the market, which lifted its capitalization to 1.78 trillion naira. However, the volume of trades carried out rose dramatically by over 4,000%, while value also was up by more than 700%. But the number of transactions carried out in securities traded this week, that was mixed. And to the global oil market now, oil prices settled slightly higher on Friday, but posted a weekly decline, ending 4 straight weeks of gains after U.S. President Donald Trump announced sweeping plans to boost domestic production while demanding that OPEC move to lower crude prices. Brent crude futures settled at $78.50 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude closed at $74.66 a barrel, with Brent down 2.8% for the week and WTI down by 4.1%. Analysts say while bullish catalysts such as a significant drawdown in U.S. crude stocks are providing temporary positive swings, an oversupplied global market and projections of ailing Chinese demand continue to weigh on crude futures. And to the automobile market, now see here, America has announced a recall of 80,255 Nero EVs, plug-in hybrid and hybrid vehicles in the United States due to safety concerns involving the vehicle's airbags and seatbelts. The recall, which was disclosed by the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, highlights potential issues where airbags may deploy improperly or unintentionally, or where seatbelts may fail to function correctly. These malfunctions increase the risk of injury in the event of a crash, as the safety features may not operate as intended to protect the occupants. This recall affects specific model years of the Nero EV, plug-in hybrid, and the hybrid, and the Kia is urging owners to have their vehicles inspected and repaired as necessary to ensure their safety on the road. And that's it for me on business. Back to Melinda with sports.
And thanks, Warri. We serve off with some tennis. American Madison Keys has finally placed her hands on a Grand Slam trophy after holding off world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka, to win the Australian Open women's title. Playing her second major final and first for more than 7 years, Keys overcame Sabalenka 6-3, 2-6, 7-5 after 2 hours and 4 minutes in Melbourne Park. At 29 years old, Keys becomes the 4th oldest first-time Grand Slam champion in the professional era after Flavia Pennetta and Ann Jones. She will move up to world number 7, equaling her career best ranking from 2016. While her opponent Sabalenka has expressed pride for reaching 3 Australian Open finals in a row, but admitted it had been a struggle to contain her emotions. The defeat flattering Sabalenka's dreams of becoming the first woman for 26 years to win a 3rd straight Melbourne Park singles crown. In the Nigeria Premier Football League, Enugu Rangers' title defense has suffered a huge setback after the champions were beaten by Niger Tornadoes 2-1 at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium in Enugu. Danlami Alao scored twice. The Sunshine Stars edged Ikorodu City in a 7-goal thriller. Nasarawa United remained bottom of the table despite a hard-fought win over Katsina United in Lafia, while Abia Warriors secured a double over Bayelsa United in Umuahia. While in the English Premier League, Holly Gasper scored twice as Liverpool comfortably saw off struggling Ipswich Town to maintain their 6-point advantage at the top of the table. Erling Haaland and Phil Foden powered an impressive comeback as Manchester City defeated Chelsea 3-0 to insert themselves in the top 4. Ricardo fired Arsenal to a 1-0 win over at Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bournemouth delivered an attacking masterclass to stretch their unbeaten run to 11 games and bring Nottingham Forest crashing down at the Vitality Stadium. Alexander Isak scored twice as Newcastle United came from behind to beat Southampton. Everton eased their relegation fears with victory at Brighton in David Moyes' 700th match as manager. Barcelona coach Hansi Flick has called on his team to show more concentration in their Spanish La Liga tie against troubled Valencia tomorrow after a dismal run of domestic form. Barcelona have won just 1 of their last 8 league games and trail league leaders and reigning champions Real Madrid.
In Getafe, it was our fault that we not end this match with 3 points. So it has nothing to do with Getafe. It's like we play not well. We are not focused, and this is what we have to change. And we have to be focused from the beginning till the end of the match. And this is what I want from the team. Valencia, they stabilized the defense, and also they normally they really know how to play football. So I think it will be also an important match for us. Because the defense from them, they're doing really good, and we have to create chances or score goals is not so easy.
On the international scene, 4 female hostages who were held by Hamas in Gaza have returned to Israel. Gunmen and crowds gathered in Palestine Square in Gaza City as the hostages were released to the Red Cross in a highly choreographed handover. The 4 women, who are the second group of hostages released since a ceasefire deal was agreed, are Israeli soldiers who were taken on October the 7th.
Members of the ICRC sign a document with a Hamas fighter on a stage specially set up in the square to facilitate the hostages' release. The 4 soldiers, Karina Ariev, Daniela Gilboa, Neema Levy, and Liri Albag, were all stationed at an observation post on the edge of Gaza and abducted by Hamas fighters who overran their base during the attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023. Crowds of Gazans gather in Palestine Square in Gaza City to witness the event. Meanwhile, the parents of the freed women clap and cheer as they watch their daughters on a screen being released from Hamas captivity and handed over to the Red Cross in Gaza. The women are whisked off in Red Cross vehicles, arriving at a site where Israeli army officers and soldiers are waiting. They get into the blue vans that will take them to Israel. At this moment, the vehicles drive into Israel's territory and the ladies are flown to the hospital where a jubilant crowd is gathered to welcome them with loud cheers. They are finally home and in the emotional embrace of their parents. Israeli Army spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, who welcomed the return of the 4 women, is however disappointed that 4 others, Abel Yehud, an Israeli citizen kidnapped from Ner Oz, and also Shiri Bibas and her 2 children, were not among those released. He accuses Hamas of breaching the truce.
Hamas failed to meet its obligations to first release Israeli female civilian hostages as part of the agreement.
In response, Hamas informed mediators that 29-year-old Abel Yehud will be released next week. Ms. Yehud was abducted with her boyfriend from their home during Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7th, 2023. According to the exchange agreement, Israel has released Palestinian prisoners in return. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
And the main news again. Former Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, today broke his silence, said his removal did not follow due process. That's the news at 10 tonight. On behalf of the team, good night.